Pesahim. We are in Amoud Yomi. We are in Daf Noon. We're on Daf Noon, in the middle of the page. You with us, guy? Where are you? Half? We're going to go fast. Fast Amoud. Come on. Bayomahu, yeah. We're in the middle of the page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big lines. Fourth word, fifth word. The Gemara quotes a pasuk in Zechariah. Let's read the two psukim together in Torah O. Come, Johnny, quick. Daf Nun. Nun Shari Binah. So if you look on the right side of the page in Torah O, you are reading two psukim. Two psukim which are found in Zechariah back to back. Zechariah Yudalid Kaf. Zechariah Yudalid Kaf Aleph. Bayom ha'u yad mitzilot hasus. Kodesh Lashem. So interesting pasuk. On that day, when Mashiach comes, when it's going to usher in the new era, on that day, yad mitzilot hasus, whatever mitzilot hasus means, Kodesh Lashem. There will be Kodesh Lashem. Vayas sirot bebet Hashem kamizrachim lifnei hamizbeach. And the bowls that they use in the Beit HaMikdash, which are just regular bowls, which you could use any metal bowls. You have it? Daf Nun. Amoud Aleph. Fourth big line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big lines. Fifth word, Bayomahu. This is bringing to Psukim on Torah O. So the first pasuk says, on that day there will be Mitzilot Asus Kodesh Lashem. And it also says that the sirot, the bowls in the Beit HaMikdash, are going to be out of gold. They're going to be like the mizrak. The mizrak was made of gold, and so the regular bowls, meaning everything's going to be with great wealth over there in the Beit HaMikdash. Okay, so now what does the pasuk say? Bayamu yan mitzilot asus kodesh l'Shem. My mitzilot asus. What does it mean? This mitzilot asus. We spoke about it yesterday quickly. Hashem will be adding the border of Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim will have a bigger tchum, a bigger borders. And some explain why is it so you can eat kochim more and more places. So you can have the kochim, you don't have to be so close to be kochim. A lot of people are going to be coming. It's going to be, everybody's going to be going to Jerusalem. We're going to need more. Especially Hashem is going to expand the borders of Jerusalem. Shasus, now how big is it going to be? So here's an interesting measure. Shasus ratz, ad shasus ratz umetzin. Basically, if you look at Rashi, it's the amount of time that a sus can cover ground in half a day. Half a day until the point where the shade of the horse will be underneath the horse and not on the side of the horse, which is really half midpoint in the day, where the sun is on top, and that is going to shine on top of the horse, and the sun is going to be underneath, and then you're going to be as much as the horse can run. That we're going to add to Yerushalayim. Rabbi Eliezer Omer kol mitzilot shetonim asus. So that is the first opinion. That is Rabbi Shua Melech. And by the way, it's also the Khatam Sofer says it's a cover of Yerushalayim. It's a beauty for Yerushalayim. A big city is a nice city, big space, etc. So it's a more covered for Yerushalayim. Since Yerushalayim is going to be sent to the world, so Yerushalayim is going to get an expansion. The Gemara says that is according to Rabbi Shua ben Levi. That's what it means. Mitzilot asus. So the language mitzilot asus is the shade of the horse. Okay. The Gemara continues. Rabbi Eliezer Omer kol mitzilot shetunin b'asus ben enav yekodesh Hashem. A guy when he had a nice horse. Today, if you have a nice car, what do you do to the car? Baruch. If you have a car and you want to soup up the car, what do? What do you put?
You remove stuff.
You remove stuff?
You remove the muffler.
No, but if you want to make it nice, fancy, you put leather, you put mags, you put all kinds of kits over there. What is that? You do all kinds of things. So therefore, so the guys had a nice horse. He had an ornaments on the horse, like silver things going between the eyes of the horse, like if you look in old pictures of warriors and people that kings had a horse. It's not a regular horse. You got to soup up the horse. So they put some decorations, some silver decorations between the eyes of the horse. So we're going to take those and we're going to put them to the Beit HaMikdash. We're not going to use them anymore for the sus. We'll be Kodesh Hashem. What in the world does that have to do with Mashiach? So they explain like this, a Gevaldik Pshat, that I think it's a Ben Ishai, if I'm not mistaken. No, a guy, for now, what could be a tachlit of God's life? Chilling, hanging out, driving a nice car, cruising. A guy wants his mind is going good. He upgrades the car. What car do you have? A little Corolla? You can upgrade. You're going to get a Bentley. You're going to get a Lamborghini. What do you have, Baruch? What are you looking for? What do you want to get? You got to get something else. You don't want to be with the little with the Mazda, with the Toyota. You want to get something serious over here. You're going to get give me something good.
CX-90.
Yeah, that's regular. That's regular.
Better than the CX-5.
That's regular. So the thing is, the people are going to change kivun in life. They're going to put down the Bentley, they're going to put down the Ferrari, they're going to put down the Porsche, they're going to put down all the stuff, and they're just going to get something regular. So meaning it's a representation that instead of souping up your car, souping up your horse, you're going to give that for the Beit HaMikdash. We're going to spend time with the Beit HaMikdash. You have a guy did tshuva, he was used to Lamborghini, now he's going to have take a Tahoe, take a GMC, take a Yukon, something like that. Huh?
Pretty nice.
Okay, but that's it. But it's just to get from place to place. We just need to get from place to place. We don't need to show off. Now you want to get there a little bit more comfortable. That's okay. But you don't have to buy a car to show off to people. That's what it used to be, and that's going to change when Mashiach comes. You understand that the shift in the world will change from all kinds of gashmis endeavors and ambitions, which are only not l'shem shamayim. Things are going to change to be l'shem shamayim. The Gemara continues. The last opinion is Rabbi Yochanan Amar Kol Biza Shebozizin Yisrael Ad Shasha Sus Ratzu Mitzir Kodesh Hashem. Well, they're going to be taking over Jerusalem, right? So Jerusalem is going to be bigger. So that amount of time that they're going to be taking over the surrounding places, which maybe could even extend it to Goyish lands, and what we're going to do, they're going to run away, we're going to take a bounty. When you fight a war, you take a bounty. So what are you going to do with the bounty? You're not going to keep it for yourself, they're going to give it to Beit HaMikdash. As a akarat tov that Hashem made their boundaries expand, they're going to give it to the Beit HaMikdash. 3 opinions. So 3 opinions what to do with this pasuk. The Gemara says, Bishlama, Niman Damar Kol Bizah Shebazu Yisrael, Hainu Lichtiv, Vayasirot Bebet Hashem, Kimizrachim, Limizbech. Remember we said the whole pasuk, the second part of the pasuk says that it's going to be such a wealth in Jerusalem, in the Beit HaMikdash, that even the regular bowls that were made out of metal, now they're going to be made out of gold. So now we understand. If all the money that we take, so if there's 3 pshatim in this Gemara, 3 pshatim, 1 pshat is that we're going to take money, give it to Beit HaMikdash, we understand. But what do you do with the other 2 pshatim? How does it explain the second part? What is the expansion of Jerusalem? What does it have to do that you take the ornament off your horse and give it to the Beit HaMikdash, have to do with the fact that they're going to have so much money that the pots and pans are going to be made out of gold in Jerusalem, in the Beit HaMikdash. So the Gemara says, "Mai va'yasirot bebeit Hashem." The Gemara says, "Mitachiti." Something else. The Kama, the mitaterei Yisrael. Yeah, Am Yisrael are going to become rich. In the time of the Beit HaMikdash, in the time of the Geulah, Am Yisrael will turn into a very wealthy nation, because everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to want to come there. They're going to be the teachers of the world, so it's automatic they're going to be well taken care of, and so therefore, so they're going to be able to give from the money that they're going to be making. They're going to give it to the Beit HaMikdash. And if you look at the next pasuk Gimel, it says over there, there's going to be so many people in Jerusalem that every pot and pan is going to become used for the korbanot. You know what the influx of what's going to be in Jerusalem? The whole world. Right now, who goes to Jerusalem? It's still pretty busy, right? Jerusalem is busy, but who's going? But imagine the whole world's going to want to be going to go there. Everyone's going to want to show up. The whole world, all of Am Yisrael, all the Goyim, everybody's going to want to have a piece of Jerusalem. So every pot and pan, you have your own pot that you can make your eggs with. You're not going to use it anymore for eggs. You're going to use it, they need it for the korbanos. So every pot is going to be quick. We have a shortage until we get from China. We're going to have to use all the pots and pans. The Gemara says, there will be no more Kenani. We're going to see Kenani means there's no more vendors. Nobody's going to be selling any more things. We don't need to sell. We don't need to sell any more things. You know why the Gemara says? So if you say that it's going to be, that it's biza, we're going to have so much money in the Beit HaMikdash, we don't need to sell. Because in the meantime, you're coming to Jerusalem. It's a service. You're going to come there, you want to bring your korban. Do you have a pot to cut? No, I don't have a pot. So get some pot, get some pans. But there's going to be so much wealth over there, and all the people are going to give their stuff to the Beit HaMikdash that it's not going to be needing any more sales. There's going to be no store selling. It's going to be in abundance. The Gemara says, so that makes sense. We're the one that we get biza. And then mahani takti my below kenani. So what is it going to be? There's no more kenani. En kanani. So don't learn lo kenani. Kenani means a vendor. No more. There's not going to be any more poor people. When the Beit HaMikdash time is done, the poverty stops. Lo ye kenani kan ani. There will be no more poverty. The Am Yisrael will split into a rich, wealthy nation. U'Knani minanan dikrei tagar. How do we know that a Knani is called? Maybe a Knani is the people living in Canaan. Why are you saying Knani means a vendor? Dikrei tagar dichtiv vayar sham Yehuda bat ish Knani. You know that Yehuda, at a certain point, he went down and he married the daughter of an ish Knani. Do you think that it means a real guy from Canaan? My Knani. Ilima Knani mamash. If you think that it's a guy that's really born in Canaan, if Shaba Abraham v'zirit Yitzchak u'Yitzchak v'zirit Yaakov v'Yehuda v'Azim v'Nasiv, could it be that Abraham Avinu told that his children, his son Yitzchak, should not marry from Canaan, and Abraham told Yaakov it could be Yehuda, the grandson, should marry somebody from Canaan? It can't be. So Erna Amar Rav Shimon, it's a Ben Akish bat Gavra Tagra. It was not a Knani, it was a vendor. It was a person that's a salesman, a guy selling stuff. Dichtiv Knan biyado mozne mirma. We have a pasuk that says Knan, a guy that's a salesman, biyado mozne mirma. He has measures, he has scales that are tricker. We're talking about the ones that are tricking. So you have this guy Knan, he's a tricker when it comes to selling, that he's not honest with his measures and his weights. So that's why we see that Knan is a vendor. Asher socheya sarim, Knaneya nirbede haaretz. Another pasuk representing Asher sochareya sarim, Knaneya nirbede haaretz. There's a certain place, I guess that's going to be Eretz Yisrael, that the vendors will be like princes, the Knaneya nirbede haaretz. Okay, we have to see what that pasuk exactly is, but again, it's representing, it's referring that a Knan is going to be, a Knan is a vendor. Vaya Hashem lemelech al kol haaretz, v'yomu Hashem echad u'shmo echad. Very deep esoteric Gemara, which all the Sodot of Torah are coming from this Gemara. The Gemara says, "Vayashem lemelech al kol haaretz." Since we're talking about the Navi of Zechariah, so there's a pasuk says, which we say all the time, "Vayashem lemelech al kol haaretz, v'yamo yechad, v'yamo Yashem echad u'shmo echad." The Gemara says that in that day Hashem will be king of the whole world when the Mashiach comes, and on that day Hashem's name will be one, and His name will be one. The Gemara says, "Aidna lav echadu." Hashem's not one right now. So what is He? Obviously He's one.
To the whole world.
Huh?
To the whole world.
You're right. But here it says, Amar Ravacha bar Chanina no ki olam hazeh olam haba. Ad besorot olam hazeh, ad besorot tovot omer baruch hatov me'amitim. When things go good, you say Baruch Hashem, Baruch hatov me'amitim. Ad besorot ra'ot omer baruch dayan emet. Now you say Baruch dayan emet. L'olam haba kulo hatov me'amitiv. Latid lavo, you're only going to say hatov me'amitiv. You're going to realize right now we understand, we believe everything's for good, but we have still difficulties. It's hard for us to understand hardship is for the good. We got to force ourselves and have emunah. But then there's going to be a time where you're going to realize that there's no more bad news because everything is good. Even things that seemingly today seem not good, then we're going to realize it's really good. Huh? They say when a person passes away.
What's the translation?
The true judge. Baruch dayan emet.
So why is that bad?
It's not bad, it's just your perception is harshness, difficulty. Dayan, it's judgment. You got a ticket. It's emet. You burned the stop sign.
So it doesn't necessarily mean it's good, just that it's true.
It's hard. There's hardness involved. And so therefore it's very hard for you to, you got to reinforce yourself to know that the judgment is true and you accept it and Hashem knows what He's doing. But that Atid Lavo, it's not going to be a hard thing. You're always going to say Atov V'Amitiv. When you get a kid, when you get money, when you buy a house, Atov V'Amitiv. You're so happy about it. You're going to have that experience with every single interaction you have. That feeling with everything single experience you go through will be that feeling. You will constantly feel satisfied and happy and at peace with everything that happens to the point where you're going to bless Hashem. Today, you don't say thank you for hard things. It's not true. It's mebalbel dedat. A kid dies, you don't say thank you. A person's sick, you don't say thank you. You say, I'm manim shakor tova. I believe everything's for the good. Please Hashem help me out this. And you say thank you on the good things you have. Yes, somebody is not well, but everybody else is well. Thank you for everybody else as well. Thank you that it's not so bad. Thank you that could be worse. You thank for what you understand is good. You can't thank on something negative. The guy lost $1 million. He doesn't say thank you. He says, but now I lost $1 million. I'm able to go to shul every day. So I thank Hashem that I'm able to go to shul every day. So it came out of difficulty, something good. But be honest with yourself. The honesty is, it hurts. So say, Dayan emet. That means, I'm ma'amin shakor tova. When people start telling you say thank you on the hard things, they're mebalbel sechel. It's not the Torah perspective. Torah perspective, Dayan emet and Torah amiti.
It's like in Purim,
Exactly. Latila, but we're going to get them. The Gemara says, "Umay shmo echad, ushmo echad, ma echad." Atoyin anav shmo echad. Hashem has one name. What does it mean? How many names does Hashem has? Amar mechana Harav Nachman Litzak. Lo ki olam hazeh olam haba. Olam hazeh nichta b'yud kei, v'nikra be'alef dalet. So today it's written Yud Kei Vav Kei, but you don't say Yud Kei Vav Kei. You say Amonai with Aleph Dalet. But non ba kulo ichad. Nikra Yud Kei, v'nichta b'yud kei. There, we can actually say Hashem's name like it was. What's interesting is that in the Bet Mikdash, the Kohanim would say Hashem's name as it is. So you see that the Ben Ish Chai explains this Gemara to mean that right now we're in a world of Sheker. So Hashem's name as it is, it's not really, he's the boss, but it's not really revealed. We don't really chap him, so we can't really say his name properly. We can say Adonai, that Adonai is the boss, the king, the master, he's the master. But the real essence of Yud Kei Vav Kei you don't know it right now. Latinava you can know it. In the Bet Mikdash, they would know it even this time. So they were allowed to say it over there. The Gemara says, Svar Rabba Nemidrashe B'Pirka. Rabba was going to say drashot of the Shem Hashem in the yeshiva in front of everybody on Shabbat. Amar Lehu Saba Leolam Ketiv. The pasuk says, Zeh Shmi Leolam, Zeh Zechi Ledor V'Dor. Leolam is written without a vav. Leolam is Aleph Lamed Mem. It's missing a vav over there. Ketiv. So what do we do with that? We do it. The fact that it's written Leolam is quiet. Certain things you don't discuss in public. Kabbalah and Shmot HaKodesh and Yichudim and all that. It's not for the tzibur, it's not for internet, it's not out in the public. This is for Talmidei Chachamim to give over to serious students in private settings. It's not meant to be out in the public. That's what it says. So that's why we told them, don't doresh this in public. Rami Ketib Zeh Shmi Leonam Zeh Zichi Ledor V'Dor. In one pasuk it says Zeh Shmi Leonam. This is my name forever. Zeh Zichi Ledor V'Dor. So what does it mean? This is my name, this is my remembrance. So we read Yud K, we read Yud K and we say Aleph Dalet. But actually you're allowed to think in your head Yud K. And when you're reading the Amonai, you're supposed to actually Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. When you say Shema Yisrael Hashem or Amonai, you're supposed to actually think in your head what's written there. Understand? We just Adran Anach Elu Aruvin. We just finished. Makom shenagu nasot. We have time. We have a little time. Huh? Give me 8 minutes. Today's Amoud is really the next time. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue the next Mishnah. Huh? Okay. Makom shenagu nasot menachaber Pesahim. Ad chatzot osim. So now, what about working in Erev Pesach? Are you allowed to work in Erev Pesach? Depends. Makom shenagu nasot menacha. If you do menacha, if you have a minhag to do menacha in Erev Pesach until chatzot yom, you're allowed to. Makom shenagu shelo nasot en osim. And if you live in a place where they don't do menacha in Erev Pesach, you shouldn't do. Don't forget, Erev Pesach is like a Yom Tov. Lot what to do on the day. Korban Pesach, burn the chametz, prepare the matzot, a lot what to do. So if after chatzot, you for sure shouldn't work. But before chatzot, depends on the minhag. If you're in a place where they work, work. In a place where they don't work, you don't work. The Gemara says, if you're a place where they do menacha, let's say you live in a certain city, do menacha. You go to another city, they don't do menacha. Or makom she'en osin, or you're in a place where they don't do, and you go to makom she'osin. Notim la b'chumrei makom she'atzah misham, b'chumrei makom she'alak l'sham. You got the strict on both opinions. Meaning either way, if you don't do menacha, you can't do menacha even where they do. And if you do menacha and you go to a place where they don't do, you can't do menacha. The Gemara continues. Don't change what the community is doing in order to not cause machloket. Yeah, me, I'm allowed, my rabbi. Follow the shul, follow the city, follow. Av Kenny, when he was coming, he would come for slichot. It doesn't say slichot. He would show up for slichot. When he would kiss the hand of the Moroccan, he would go like this. Do like they do. So you don't start causing problems. So now you know that Rachot Shvit is that you're not allowed to harvest new fruits. You're not allowed to work the ground. And you can't sell them. But it's free, it's hefker. All the fruits you're allowed to go ahead and take. But you can't store in your house. I'm going to store in my house tons, and in the field there's nothing left. So long as there's in the field, you can have in your house. When there's nothing left in the field, you can't have in your house. You got to go back and put it back in the field. Understand? So long as the people can go and take it, you can't stock up for yourself from the hefker. So now you went to a place. You were in a place where there's no more fruits. And you get to the place. I took fruits from there, but here they have fruits. Or the place where there's no more fruits, or you get to the place where sorry, where I came from a place there's no more fruits. And here there's no more fruits. Or I took fruits from a place where there was still fruits outside. In both cases you got to get rid of them, you can't keep them. Rabbi Yehuda says, so Rabbi Yehuda adds something, which means go take also you. The Gemara is going to explain what that means. The Gemara says, Pesahim. What does it mean that Erev Pesach you can't work you shouldn't work in a place where they don't work? And meaning, what does it mean in Erev Pesach after Chatzot you shouldn't work? So you see that if you do menacha in a place in Erev Pesach, Erev Shabbos, you will not have any bracha. So you see, let's see. So if you do menacha on Shabbos and Yom Tov after mincha, after Tamid Mincha, which is half an hour after Chatzot Yom, so you don't have any bracha. So why are you saying only Pesach? What did we say before? Erev Pesach, you can maybe work before Chatzot, maybe yes, maybe not. But after, for sure you can't work. Here too, Yamim, Tovim, and Shabbat, you can't work after Chatzot. You don't see any bracha. So why did you single out only Pesach? You should have included Shabbat and Yom Tov. The Gemara says, Hatamina mincha u'nemana hudasu. Samuch lemincha lo. So the answer is, there, it's Samuch lemincha. Us, it's from mincha. Meaning Pesach, it's Chatzot. Mincha is only half an hour after Chatzot. So Shabbat and Yom Tov, you only got to stop working at the time of Mincha. However, when it comes to Pesach, even half an hour before Mincha, you got to stop working. Hacha mechatzot inami hatam siman bracha udelo chase. Aval shamute lo mash mitinan. Le'acha shamute nami mesham tinan. So there, after on Erev Pesach, Erev Shabbos, Erev Yom Tov, you don't get bracha, but we don't put you in excommunication. But if you do menacha on Erev Pesach after Chatzot, you become in nidui. We excommunicate you from the community. Gufa. If you do work on Friday afternoon after the time of mincha, or on Motzei Shabbos, or Motzei Yom Tov, Motzei Yom Kippurim, בכל מקום שיש נידוד עבירה, תהיה תענית ציבור, אין הורס ימין ברכה. Also on Tisha B'Av, you do not have any bracha. Motzei Shabbos, Motzei Yom Tov, Erev Shabbos, Erev Yom Tov, Tisha B'Av, no bracha on your work. Stop working after Chatzot Yom. It's not going to help you whatsoever. Go prepare Shabbat, and right away, when you finish Havdalah, you go to work. Hey, it's too close to Shabbos. Do Minah B'Maka, Mechabed B'Yom Tov, by escorting. Tanu Rabbanan. Yesh zariz v'niskav, yesh zariz v'nifsad. There's a guy that works a lot, he gets a reward. The guy works a lot, and he gets no reward. Yesh shafer v'niskav, guy's lazy, and he doesn't make it, and he has a reward for it. Yesh shafer v'nifsad. A guy is shafer, he's lazy, and he loses out. Zariz v'niskav, David kodesh Shabbatam, David manesh Shabbatam. A guy that works a lot, he's going to get a good reward. He works the whole week, and on Erev Shabbos, he doesn't work. Zariz v'nisad, David kodesh Shabbatam, David manesh Shabbatam. The guy works all the time. He's working in the weekend. He's working Erev Shabbat. He's chabad for him. He's losing out. He's not going to get a mitzvah on that Friday. Shafan v'niskar, David kodesh Shabbatam. There's a guy that's lazy, and it's good for him. David kodesh Shabbatam, David manesh Shabbatam. He's lazy, so he doesn't work not on the weekend, not on Friday. So at least he's not working on Friday. So he's going to get a mitzvah. Not working on Friday. After Chatzot, Shafan v'nifsad. There's a guy that's lazy. And too bad for him, he's losing out. The guy's lazy, so he doesn't work the whole week, but he works on Friday. Chabad, you're getting an avera for working on Friday. Your laziness, and you're not going to get nothing from it. There are ladies from the city of Nechoza, they don't work on Friday. They're just spoiled girls. There's some ladies, they're like, they're spoiled, they're not, they're lazy, they're finicky, they don't work. So even though they're not working on Friday because they're lazy, not because they're spoiled, because they're mifunakim, who they don't work the whole week as well. They are sort of lazy and they still get a mitzvah because they're not working on Friday. Don't work on Friday after Chatzot. The Gemara says, Rava Rami Kitiv Ki Gadon Ad Shamayim Chazdecha. The pasuk says, Ki Gadon Ad Shamayim Chazdecha. Your kindness is still the Shamayim. Uktiv Ki Gadon Me'al Shamayim Chazdecha. Another pasuk says, your kindness is after the Shamayim, atop the Shamayim. Haketzad Kan Beosin Nishma, Kan Beosin Shelo Nishma. If you do mitzvot Shelo Nishma, your reward is still the Shamayim. If you do Nishma, it's even after the Shamayim. So even Shelo Nishma is okay. So the guy's not working on Friday, not because he cares about the Aracha, because he's lazy. You still get a mitzvah for it. וכדי רב יהודה, אמר רב יהודה, אמר רב, לעולם יעסוק אדם בתורה מצוות של אבל בי שלא נשמע, שמתוך שלא נשמע, בא נשמע. You should do Torah and mitzvahs even for ulterior motives. You should have personal gain in the Torah and mitzvahs. Because even if it's not for Hashem proper, because Shalom Nishma will come Nishma. For example, you want to learn Torah, so you're going to be knowledgeable, people respect you. That's okay. You want to go to the kollel, you're going to get a bit of money when you go to the kollel. That's okay, because from there you're going to learn the Torah, you're going to like the Torah so much, and then it's going to come to Nishma. Tanu Rabbanan. If you're hoping that your wife's going to bring home money, and she's going to bring you a paycheck, or the rechaim of the woman, or she has what's it called, a rechaim, a meal, there's no bracha on that. No lam. Schar ishto. What is schar mishto? Mat kulta. Mat kulta, she has a balance, she has a scale, and she's going out and renting out the scale. You're sending out your wife to do such an embarrassing job. You want to borrow the scale, you want to rent the scale, you're in the shuk. It's an embarrassing job, and you're getting prutot. Chabad that you're embarrassing your wife for such prutot. Rechaya, agarta. Also, you're renting out your hand mill. You have a little kelly, you're renting it out. Come on, give your wife a respectful job. However, aval avda umazvana mishtabuche mishtabach ba kara dichtiv sadina stabitimko. But if she makes something, she's selling it, that's good. There's no problem to have your wife work, but just give her a respectful job. You're sending your wife to do a pitiful job, an embarrassing job for a little bit of money, there's no bracha. But if your wife is a good, smart lady, good business lady, she can make some money by making something which is not embarrassing her, that's fine. Look at Tosfot says, matkulta, he gives another pshat, madve. She's sewing. You're giving, this is very important, you're giving your wife to work by sewing. Sewing could make good money, but she's sewing. What's the problem? What's the problem with that? Look at the Pirush Rabbeinu Chananen. Shehi mitbaze kach, she migare zroteya b'shat tiviyah. She's sitting in the shuk and she's sewing things. Could make good money with that, making a sweater. But she's unrolling her sleeves. Not here, for sure it's asur, but even the zroot. A woman should cover till here lichatchila. What they're doing over here like this, it's not the best. Now, she's unrolling her sleeves to be able, you see it's not asur, but it's not the best, to be able to sew. You think you're going to get bracha from that? No bracha. You're making your woman be not modest in the workforce? No bracha. If you want bracha from your wife's parnasah, make sure she's not involved in a job that's exposing her in a modest way. A modest job, working in school, amongst girls, in a private setting, that's fine, but she's going to be now talking with men and in the office and being all around and mitbazeh with her in a not modest way. There will not be bracha in that. Chazak Baruch.